Well, you know, in reality, I can eat up several minutes discussing the ultra camera specs of the Samsung S21 Ultra's cameras. But in the end, what really matters is how it clicks or taps. Hey everyone, Mukul here, and what feels like an eternity, I'm finally back to a phone camera review and with nothing but the best of the best this time, supposedly. Well, the Samsung S21 Ultra is something which is truly unaffordable by possibly 9 out of 10 people on the planet right now. Well, if you are unaware of the specs of the many camera sensors on the phone, I will post them on the screen for you to read them. So without wasting much time, let me quickly start sharing all the pictures and videos I took from the S21 Ultra's cameras on the day I managed to get it. Well, a bright sunny afternoon, and this is how a typical primary lens shot will look like. The ultra wide in comparison crushes the shadow way more, which kinda defines it's not as good as the primary sensor. Now the other two camera sensors on the S21 Ultra love zooming in, and as I zoom in, the first 3x optical zoom shot will definitely capture more details than what the primary sensor did. And similarly, the 10x shot will capture more details than the original 3x shot. I mean, those cropped 3x details look like these stupid painterly details on the picture, which is typical Samsung. But the 10x optical zoom is where the true limit is, and the details captured by 100x are almost as detailed or maybe even a little less detailed than the 10x cropped picture. So it was worth putting the extra telephoto sensors on the phone, but that 100x zoom is nothing but a huge marketing gimmick. So someone should definitely stop gimmicking. And there you go, dear vegetable vendor, free YouTube promotion for you right there. And if I compare these two shots from the S21 Ultra and the OnePlus 8, well, to the average human eye, there won't be any visible difference. Till I zoom the hell in both of these pictures, and I somehow see almost similar details on the OnePlus 8 picture too, which is a phone which can cost almost as half as the S21 Ultra right now. So yeah, you can contemplate yourself over this. A similar trend in pictures and their details is kinda replicated on these shots too, so no point of me repeating the same stuff here. But if you want me to repeat, then just rewind this video and enjoy it again. But I really enjoyed the freedom to zoom in as much as 10x or 30x on this phone with preserving a decent amount of detail on the subject. For instance, I could manage shooting the bird in this picture here. I am pretty sure if I had more time with this shot and if the bird was a little more patient, then I would have captured a better, more detailed picture. The portrait from the rear camera came out decent too, with good edge detection overall. The macro shots are only possible at the ultra wide mode, and as you can see, these shots are decent, but I think they have been quite over sharpened too. But overall, I can say they are quite fine. The selfies also came out sharp and the edge detection was decent. The fake background blur from the portrait mode can be adjusted later too, which is a good addition as I like keeping the fake blur to as least amount as possible, just like the people in my life.
And this is how the video quality is from the rear camera at 4K 30 FPS. And I think right now the phone is about 1 feet away from my mouth and I'm wearing a mask. And if I play with the ultra wide and the zooms, let's see, this is the ultra wide and this is the 1x, and if I go to 3x and 10x, the more you zoom in, the more you need to keep your hand stable so that things are stable. Unlike these pigeons, of course. Tuck, 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 tuck. This is again 3x, 1x, 10x, and I don't see the option of 100x, which is actually good for the quality of the video. At 100x without the tripod, I don't think you can anyway record a stabilized video or anything.
The 4K videos, in my opinion, lacked good details overall, which to be honest is kinda shocking to me. I mean, just look at the trees in the video here and you would feel the leaves could have definitely used some more details over them. I mean, I don't know why, but I can see noise over the leafy areas on the trees here too for some reason in the broad daylight time. And even after all the iterations with all the Samsung flagships in the past, enabling super steady mode on video downscales the video resolution to 1080p. I mean, that's all fair, but then if the chip is enabled to shoot a super steady video at 4K resolution at least, then why is there even an 8K video recording option with the phone? The stabilization was pretty great in all the 4K videos though, so no complaints there. I mean, if it looked like I was bitching about the stabilization earlier, I wasn't. Anyway, the 8K resolution recording didn't capture any noticeable extra details on the footage too, and I think it will be better for you all to stick to 4K, as 4K is the new 1080p or 1440p or something like that. You can also take portrait videos from both front and the rear cameras, and it's the same with slow-mo videos too.
And this is how the video will look from the front camera at 4K 30 fps. Oh, perfect. There's a plane right top of my head, so the noise cancellation of the mic can also be tested and judged. By the way, the plane is still over my head, quite noisy here. So yeah, and this is the portrait video mode. So yeah, I think it's doing a decent job of detecting my faces, edges and whatnot. Impressive blur. I wonder if you can also adjust the blur. Oh yeah, you can. And back to real time. Pretty nice. This is the portrait shot from the rear camera. This is my beautiful hand. Oh, it kind of blurred, lost the focus, even though everything is so well lit.
The portrait video from both the front and the back had terrible stabilization though. But this is now where the true essence of this review will actually begin. So sit tight. Now it's moderate winters here, and during this sunny afternoon the temperature was around 15 degrees Celsius. But well, apparently it was like a hot summer day for the S21 Ultra running the Exynos chip. The phone heated like crazy, and even after not using it for 10 minutes, it stayed quite warm. And I think due to this, the slow-mo videos I took came out crappy and all of them stuttered like crazy. So I was truly disappointed that even after giving 2 breaks to the phone, after moderate usage, it heated up almost instantly. And then it finally broke when it just refused to open the camera app. So imagine the frustration I had to go through, as because I only had the phone for a limited time, and these issues injected only negative feelings in me about the phone for its crazy price. Anyway, the normal videos were fine, even though the display of the phone was stuttering a bit when I was recording those videos. So I guess this might get fixed too in the future with an update from Samsung. And well, that is actually something which can only be discovered by owners of the phone who will use the phone for a long period of time, and only their feedback will matter in this regard, if Samsung actually fixed these issues on the phone or not. The autofocusing speed was fine with the phone too, but you can't really focus on subjects near the phone anymore, or at least I was not able to. Except until you turn on the ultra wide mode. As in the ultra wide mode, I was able to focus on nearby objects easily. The other features of the phone included this crazy single take option, which captures a clip and just tries to edit it with a background sound to make it something like this. And there is also this capability of taking HDR videos too, but it's in its beta stage right now, so I really can't vouch for it, and the footage also looked desaturated to me. Now the night mode consistently works across all the different zoom levels of the cameras, which I consider is the biggest strength of this phone when it comes to its many cameras. I mean, clearly it would have been terrible if the telephoto lenses didn't support the night mode as clear in these shots. But the details on the ultra wide mode weren't satisfactory. I mean, whatever you say, this result is totally unacceptable from the most expensive Samsung flagship right now. From the primary sensor, the results were good, even though they were a bit too over-sharpened. In comparison to the OnePlus 8 shot, the S21 Ultra is definitely brighter, but I don't like the over-sharpening behavior a bit. The portrait from the rear camera gave a quite bright and good result considering the low light scenario. But from the front of the camera, except for this creepy look, the details were lackluster. As you can see, the details over the face turned quite soft. Otherwise, the selfies were able to capture decent details, but it made me look a bit not like me for some reason. The selfies with night mode also enabled a bit of screen flash too by default, which I was not able to turn off. I suspect that happens because Samsung knew it just can't do good without a bit of screen flash over your face during these low lit scenarios.
And this is how the video quality is. Of course, in the night time, as you can clearly see, it's pretty dark. Yep, pretty dark, but I personally feel, to be honest, I expected a little better performance. I mean, it's not bad, but it could be just slightly better than this. As I go into a more well-lit area, yep, when there's more light, the camera will obviously perform better than what it was doing earlier. This is the ultra wide 1x, 3x, 10x. Yeah, 10x is not pretty good, so no point zooming in more than this. Day or night, I'll be always wearing my cap. I can't really see the cap though in the on the display right now. This is how the camera quality will look like in extreme low light conditions. And now I'm going in an area which is hardly lit, and of course my face is also hardly lit now. This is all gibberish, filler content for the video footage.
Both the rear and front camera took okay videos in extremely low lit tests considering how low the light around me was. Also, in extreme low lit scenarios, the sensor had no issues focusing on my face, which was a good sign. However, in comparison to my OnePlus 8, the rear camera videos were better on the S21 Ultra and the front camera videos were brighter on the OnePlus 8. The slow-mo videos during these low light tests again stuttered even though the phone wasn't warm or anything this time. So clearly this can be considered as a massive bug that needs immediate attention and fixing by Samsung. The Pro video mode has almost all the controls and I was able to take some decent shots with good lighting provided in the scene. The details captured were sharp enough and I think a lot of people will enjoy regaining controls over manual focusing and other manual controls, which for some reason were omitted in some of the previous Samsung phones with software updates. So here was my brutally honest review of the cameras on the Samsung S21 Ultra. I feel the front camera actually does a better job overall, especially in daytime, and the 4K videos from it are just superb in quality. So that means a lot of vloggers will find this phone quite handy for sure. So apart from that and the other marketed features from the phone cameras, I feel like the zooming capabilities from these two dedicated telephoto sensors is something which will make you feel as if you got more value from the investment you are going to make for the phone. But to be honest, apart from these zooming capabilities and having a decent primary sensor, I really didn't feel the phone deserved this crazy massive price tag currently, especially if you consider camera as one of the primary sensors for buying a new phone. And of course, we would soon see massive price drops on the phone in the future, which has been a trend in the past also from the various other Samsung's releases. So if you liked my effort on the video, then do leave a like and sub, or even better, buy me a coffee so that I can put in more efforts into such honest content for you here. You can also hop onto our Discord server for more chit chats over similar topics. So stay safe humans, that's all for today. Mewbot out.